All right, so we're going to do notes for 3-3 and 3-4. The big picture for 3-3 is the word or. A review for, here's my pen. This is 3.2 review. The big picture for that was and. We did finding the probability of A and B. And the formula for finding the probability of A and B depends on whether the two events were independent or dependent. Remember, independent means that the event A, the outcome of event A, has no bearing whatsoever on the outcome of event B. So it's where two things completely are separate from each other. Like, for example, flipping a coin. The results of flipping the coin the first time have no outcome, have no bearing whatsoever on the outcome of flipping the coin the second time. So flipping a coin two different times, those are each considered independent events. Drawing a card without replacement, that is a dependent event. Picking marbles out of the bag with replacement. Without replacement. That means that once you pick the first marble out of the bag changes, and so you have to redo the probability of B based on what the outcome of A was. So the outcome of A did affect the outcome of B. So that's when you have a dependent event. And like I said, that's usually drawing a card from a deck of cards, and you don't put it back. So you draw out 3 cards, you don't put them back. That's going to be a dependent event. Okay, so anyway, the big picture for 3-3 is going to be the word or, and the formula for A or B is going to involve addition. So you just have to remember, add means multiply, or means add. And the and means multiply. I think I said the wrong word. And should mean multiply, or means add. So be sure you keep that straight. And the way that I remember it is I don't mix the add because it has an A with the and because it has an A. So I just remember keep the A's separated. Or goes to add, and goes with multiply. And that will kind of help you keep it straight. Now remember, I'm going to give you a formula sheet, so it's not really that you have to memorize these formulas. That's not the big deal. I'll give you the formula sheet. What you have to be able to do is you have to be able to look at this formula and understand what it says. That's your goal. So just like we had in 3-2 where we had to do independent and dependent, for this lesson, you're going to have to learn mutually exclusive. Okay, so mutually exclusive is when A and B cannot occur at the same time. They have no outcomes in common. These two things down here, these are called Venn diagrams, and Venn diagrams are the easiest way to draw a picture that represents mutually exclusive. But I can give you some examples here that will help you understand. So two things that you cannot be these two things at the same time. For example, for this one right here, an example of this would be where A is you are a diamond, and I'm talking about in a deck of cards. So group A right here is you are a diamond, and group B right here is everything that is a spade. Okay, so if you have a deck of cards, and in this group, you're going to put all of the diamonds, and in this group, you're going to put all of the spades, those two groups will never intersect. Because if you're a diamond, you cannot be a spade at the same time. They're two completely separate groups. Now over here, Group A might be a face card, and then group B might be the set or the group of hearts. Okay, so in group B right here, we have the 2 of hearts, the 3 of hearts, the 4 of hearts, the 5 of hearts, the 6 of hearts, the 7 of hearts, the 8 of hearts, the 9 of hearts, the 10 of hearts, running out of room. And then over here in this little group right here, we have the Queen of Hearts and the King of Hearts and the Jack of Hearts. And then over here, we have the Jack of Spades and the Jack of Diamonds and the King of Clubs. I'm not going to draw those all out, but you get what I'm saying? Over here, we have all of the face cards. And then over here, we have all of the hearts. And in that section right there, we have the things that are in both of these groups at the same time. We have the face cards that are hearts. So these two groups right here are not mutually exclusive. And there's lots of things that you can think of that you can be both at the same time. For example, I use this example a lot with my high school kids, even though I teach at a high school that doesn't have their own extracurricular. I have taught at all size schools. I have taught at a little bitty 1A school where we had 10 in our graduating class, and then I've taught, at a 5A school where we've had 1,200 in our graduating class. So depending on the size of the school, there may be rules about the sports you can play. If you play for Lufkin High School, you don't play football and basketball. They don't let you. You either have to choose, are you going to be a football player or are you going to be a basketball player? You do not get to do both. Okay? You can't be a football player and be in the band. Okay? They don't let you do that. Well, when I worked at that little school over here, that's not true. If we didn't let our football players play basketball, we wouldn't have a team because we only had probably 40 boys that could in the whole high school that could play. So and not everybody played sports. But just because you played football doesn't mean that you didn't play basketball too. So there might be some people that would be in this overlap. So those are just a couple of examples of what it means to be mutually exclusive. Okay, so let that sink in. Go ahead and look at this one and see if you can determine whether or not these two events are mutually exclusive or not. And what you should be asking, can you be a jack and can you be a face card at the same time? That's what you should be trying to ask yourself. Can you be a Ford and can you be a Toyota at the same time? At the beginning of my next video, we will look at those answers, okay? Determine whether or not they're mutually exclusive.